Look at these bikes, so many bikes. Visiting these temples, all these layered structure and all these temples one after another, just so beautiful. And wow, this is amazing experience. The first time in Beijing, and look at this life. So many people, super busy. So this is our first time on Beijing Metro. Look at this. These two cars just crashed, and that's basically blocking the left lane altogether. This is 18-meter high. Wow. It's like a six-storied building carved out of single piece of white sandalwood. Good morning from Beijing, and welcome to our channel. As you may have seen in our previous video that we arrived in Beijing. So after immigration and collecting luggage, we just came out and we are in China officially. And we are going to travel across China for next few days. So in this video, we are starting at our Crown Plaza Hotel near Beijing International Airport. And look at our background, this tea set. These are all very ornamented and decorated, and all the tourists, they're staying here, they're taking photos with this one. China is the mother country of tea, and Beijing is the capital of North, so that's the literal meaning of the word Beijing. And I was just reading, Beijing has been a capital of China with 13 dynasties, and we have 90 universities in this city with 22 million people living here.
So almost the entire population of Australia, which is around 25 million, living in one city.
That's a fantastic comparison. Yeah, the whole Australia is in Beijing. So other thing I should mention, Rodima, this side bag, this one, we bought it in Taiwan,
From
Taipei, 2012, and never been used. So
that it will be a good thing to use it in
I don't know whether that's a good thing. So we are starting from our Crown Plaza hotel, which was at the airport, and we are moving to a different hotel, and that's going to be our accommodation for next 4 nights while we're in Beijing. And so we have got our driver, and what's your name? Your name?
不好意思，没听懂。
Ritoban. What's your name? Ritoban, and you? Soon. You are Soon.
用那个英语翻译一下，用手机翻译过来。
It's actually quite bright morning. It's a little bit hazy because of early mist, I think. Because the winter will be coming very soon. We expect to have very good next 4 days, very good weather in Beijing. And it's not going to be too hot, it's not going to be too cold. It's very pleasant, like around 20 degree, maybe 18 degree. And so this is going to be a very nice stay, I hope. Last night when we arrived at the airport, everyone was speaking English, and that was very good, very convenient. Obviously, those are immigration stops. But when we got into the taxi, he was a young guy, but he didn't spoke a single word, and we didn't either. But that didn't stop us getting the taxi or communicating, because he was sending our text message through the Didi app in English. Initially he was sending in Chinese, then he started translating it, and so we could communicate, because it was a bit chaotic and we had to cross 3 lanes with our luggage before we could get the taxi. This morning, my learned friend, he is not speaking a single word of English, so there is nothing we can do. But that doesn't stop us getting the taxi or moving from A to B. So everything is very professionally done and very well managed. Only thing is that I have no communication. I actually wanted to have a conversation for my vlog, but no, that's not happening. But keep your head down and move from A to B. And look at this taxi color, green and gold. So this is Australian national color, and Beijing taxis are colored like this. So this is a very big connection with Australia. That's probably the head office of Alibaba. All those creations. Alipay competing with Google. Look at this. These two cars just crashed, and wow, this is just awful. And it actually skid across the wall, and yeah, and that's basically blocking the left lane altogether. So there will be quite a lot of, oh, that's not good in the morning. Changing lane without checking your back. Oh God, I think I saw some of the videos on YouTube, and these road accidents are pretty common in China. We are pretty much stuck in the traffic for last 20 minutes, and this is the city of 22 million people. You have to cope with that. It's now nearly 40 minutes that we are stuck here. There must be another crash or something else. We are not moving, and all the drivers are leaving the car and just stretching and waiting outside. Our driver has just left the car and stretching, smoking. This is a different world. It almost feels like India. We have just started to move again. I think you'll find out what's happening in the front, because there are a lot of cranes moving parts, maybe broken car or road construction. And it says fifth ring road entrance. And when I was looking at the map, I think Beijing has got quite a lot of ring roads, all the ring roads around the city. So this is fifth ring road entrance, and I don't know what's happening on the left. These cranes are creating all this jam. This is another accident. A massive accident happened here. Crash between two trucks. Wow, this is exactly what happened. A major accident happened, and that's basically blocking the road, and these cranes are removing them. Now we're on the move again. This is pretty dangerous. Feels bad. Extraordinary roads, isn't it? All these ring roads, these bypass, and all these roads are just fantastic. Extremely high quality. Wow, this feels real. This is real Beijing, and if you're living in Beijing, working in Beijing, visiting in Beijing, we always avoid all these things and we go for the touristy thing. But this is real Beijing, hardworking people's Beijing. They face this every day. Sometimes during the vlogging, you will be able to see that a lot of fall color is appearing because winter is coming, and the color is just extraordinary, even just beside the highway. So keep an eye on the fall colors, and you might be able to see some beautiful color passing by. And this road is going to go to straight to our hotel, about another 6 kilometers. So this was a quite different video, a very short one. We are not going through the city, so really we couldn't actually pass by all those landmarks because that would have taken maybe 3 hours. Even bypass was a bit stuck with that massive accident, but now we are almost there. So this is an amazing experience. The first time how you are driving in Beijing. Look, all these people are actually biking and talking. And look at all these blankets and duvet. They are covering their front of the wheel and the handles. I think it's going to be very cold, not at the moment, but eventually when the winter will come, it's going to be very cold. It's actually already pretty cold. And our first meal in Beijing is Beijing McDonald's. So we are having our first lunch on our own, and it was easy to order after all when we figured out where is the English menu on the system, and now we ordered a couple of McChicken. We had our lunch at the McDonald's, and we met a lady called Ming, and she was very helpful. She was speaking good English, and so we had good conversation. And now we are going to the metro station, nearest metro station, because we are trying metro, subway, Beijing Subway, and because we are going to Lama Temple and Confucius Temple, so we thought we should try a little bit of public transport, and that's why we are going to the station. It's about 15 minutes walk, and look at these. This is Beijing, and so we'll be able to experience the train, the metro, before going to those temples. And these are the pavements, and these are the roads. The roads are maintained, but there are lots of cracks. I think it's obvious to say that from a distance, sometimes it's looking very glittering, glamorous. But when you are in the city, you are walking and experiencing local things, you will see how little difference are there. So we are almost there. We are coming to Longzi station, and from here we need to change another line. This is line 13, and then from there we need to catch another line, line 5, to the Lama Temple. And so this is the metro station. So we are going to catch a train from this station. Entering the metro station was just super cool. Orima had one transport QR code, and that's got scanned and gone in. Actually, I couldn't actually download the transport QR code, so I just used my travel money card and gone in. So that was really easy to travel on metro. And actually we have English announcement at every station. That's really cool actually. So you don't have really any issue with language while you are on the public transport. So this is our first time on Beijing Metro. So we are traveling on Beijing Metro. And so this is the line 5. So now we have just arrived at the Lama Temple station, and the whole temple station is decorated very, very nicely. It looks like a temple itself. All these pillars are colored red, and this Lama Temple is the biggest temple of this kind outside Tibet. So we have just arrived at this Lama Temple. This is Tibetan Buddhist temple built in 1694, and it has got a Buddha statue of 26 meter high, and it's completely made with sandalwood. So that's fascinating. I don't know whether we will be able to see that today. Let's go inside. On one side of the road we have got the Lama Temple, on the other side we have a Confucius Temple, and we are trying to visit both. One thing is very impressive, and I would say that even if there is a big difference in language, and language barrier is a real problem, but whenever I'm actually asking for help, everyone is opening up WeChat or Alipay, a translator app, and then they're saying something in Chinese and that's getting translated into English, and then they're showing me the screen. So that's fantastic. And for example, now we are going to the Lama Temple, and it's about 150 meter, and then we need to buy a ticket, and that's what's been translated and given it to me as a screen that I have to look at. So that was really helpful. So this is the Lama Temple's campus, and we have to buy tickets. And look at all these gates. They're just magnificent. So after 150 meter walking from that Lama Temple station, look at our background. This is the main entrance to the Lama Temple in Beijing. How beautiful and gorgeous this wooden gate is. And we got our 2 tickets from the ticket counter. It was like 50 or 25, I think. 25 each, so 50 Chinese yuan. So it was very, very cheap. And We are on our way to the Lama Temple, and look at this canopy and these trees on both sides of this walkway. So beautiful, isn't it? And we're going to take one incense stick, a branch of it. The whole area smells quite different, very nice. I always get trouble with this smoke, but the environment is just so peaceful, beautiful, and so many people are here. So this is the place where you need to lit up your stick, and Ornamia wants to do few sticks. And people are actually praying before entering this beautiful Lama Temple. But look at the environment, so many people, and it's just electric, beautiful. From one temple to another, and look at these gates. We need to be careful to cross this. So we have so far came through 4 different temples, and each one has got gorgeous Buddha statues. And now in front of us we have probably the biggest one. Look at this gap between these 2 temples. Amazing, isn't it? And in the background there is another temple, so we need to go there. And each of these temples, they have individual characteristics and beautiful and amazing architecture. This is probably the biggest Buddha here in this campus. Look at this, so gorgeous, amazing. Wow, what a structure, amazing. It's an amazing architecture and very peaceful with all these people and incense sticks. This is just magnificent, this Lama Temple. Oh, there is a massive photo session happening with traditional dress. At the moment it's around 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and it's been amazing visiting this temple. All these layered structure and all these temples one after another, just so beautiful. And now it's about, I would say, 13 degree, 14 degree. It's getting a bit chilly and it's getting cold, and so we needed jackets and jumpers, and otherwise it's been very pleasant. No rain, so we are just enjoying Beijing so far. So this is real thing. This is the certificate of Guinness World Record. So I say 26 meter, it's actually 18 meter high, carved out of single piece of white sandalwood tree from Nepal. Wow. And it's been here, it's completed in 1750. This is 18 meter high. Wow. It's like a 6-storied building, carved out of single piece of white sandalwood. Wow, what an experience we had. That was just magnificent, particularly that 18 meter high Buddha statue. That was mesmerizing, grand. This canopy is just one of my favorite here. And also, if you can actually look at on Google Map, or a map and have a drone footage or kind of like a bird's eye view of these campus, all these temples one after another, you will be able to understand how big this campus is. This Lama Temple was just extraordinary. I don't think we can actually cover Confucius Temple today, but look at this. We are actually in one of those Hutong areas, and we'll be able to walk through very traditional houses of Hutong. That's very famous in Beijing. Look at these houses. These are traditional houses of Hutong, and small narrow alleyways, they are actually called Hutong. And these brick made houses with these beautiful gates, all these architectures are very traditional, and they are a must see in Beijing if you're a tourist. And tomorrow we are going to do a little bit more of a dedicated walk through Hutong, but today we are also very close in that area, and so we thought we'll just walk through before going to Yushiandu. And there are a lot of eating areas as well. Look at these. These are all part of Hutong. Wow, this is a beautiful sweet shop. We love our sweets, and here it is. We entered this shop and they were very nice. We were actually using Alibaba translator and we got 5 of these. These are a variety of mooncakes, I think, or some sort of pastries. They're just looking delicious for tonight. This road is just amazing. It's full of flavors and beautiful eating places. Obviously, it has been a very busy working day, and look at these people. They are just now returning home. Extremely busy. Lots of public transport, massive junction, and so many eateries. They're just fantastic if you like the food. Wow, this is an amazing experience. The first time in Beijing, and look at this life. So many people, super busy, enjoying whatever way they can, returning home from busy day, eating out. We just crossed the road, and crossing road here is a bit strange because although there are green signals, but you can't actually expect that everyone is going to stop for you. All the bikes and cars, they're also passing by you like pedestrians, so you have to be careful. They're slow, they're not going fast, so it's safe, I think, and you have to develop an understanding. Look at these bikes, so many bikes, and I think these are all private bikes, but it is a very popular one, a means of transport in Beijing. And everywhere on the left hand side, look at these, the bike lanes. Although you can walk on it, but when there is a bike coming, they're alerting you. And look at these bikes. I think on this road we have at least 50,000 bikes parked. So people came on a bike to work, and as soon as they will finish, they'll go back on a bike. And this is Beijing number 22 middle school. So this is a big school. Wow, what a show. And from one Qing Dynasty marvel to another, we are going to Yushiandu next. And this is quite unique because you get to try the food from Qing Dynasty, and also the performances will be very much traditional Chinese folk music, folk dance. But I'm looking at this program, and in there, let me show you. We have Bharatnatyam, Indian Bharatnatyam. So there will be another performance, addition to the Chinese dance and show, there will be Indian classical dance as well. So we have Indian